Good morning, students. Welcome back to All Force e-learning classes. This is a intermediate first year political science or civics, a part of the first unit, that is introduction of political science. Today we will discuss about the relationship of political science with other social sciences. The relationship of political science with other social sciences. First of all, I am going to explain about the different types of subjects. So what is subject? The subject is a systematic study of knowledge. What is subject? Subject is a systematic study of knowledge. Systematic study of knowledge. Then the knowledge can be broadly divided into three groups. They are called as subjects. What are the major subject groups? There are three types of subject groups. One is physical sciences. Two, biological sciences. Three, social sciences. Okay, subjects are broadly divided into three categories. One is physical sciences, two biological sciences, three social sciences. In physical science, two important subjects are there. One is physics and chemistry. In the same way, in biology, botany and zoology. Whereas social science, so many branches are there. So what are the branches of social science? Geography, history, political science or civics, economics, sociology, ethics, public administration, etc. These are the various branches of social science. What are the social sciences? Geography, history, political science or civics, economics, sociology, ethics, public administration. These are the various social sciences. Here, political science. The political science has the relationship with the remaining social sciences. The relationship among the social sciences are interrelated and interdependent. They will depend upon one another. Now I am going to explain the relationship of political science with other social sciences with a diagram. Now here one tree is there. Now the tree has various branches. It is a tree. Now tree has various branches. In the same way, in social science, different branches are there, like geography, history, political science, economics, ethics, sociology. How one branch of a tree has the relation with other branches, in the same way in social science one branch has the relationship with other social sciences. Here I am comparing the social science with a tree. The branches of social science with the branches of a tree. So in a single statement, the branches of all these branches of The social sciences like the branches of a tree. The branches of a tree. Now in this unit, I am going to explain the relationship of political science with only three subjects. One with history, second with economics, third with sociology. The first one is the relationship between political science and history. Already we know about what is political science. What is political science? Political science is a study of state and government. Now let us discuss about history. So what is history? History is the science of past events. It describes what? Past events. Okay, we can know all the past events and past incidents known through only history. It discusses various aspects of the human beings in the past, like political aspects, economic aspects, cultural aspects, religious aspects, etc. through only history. And the information about the individuals in the past can be stored in the history. Hence, it is called as a treasure house of human experiences. All the human experiences are stored in the history. Hence, history is called as a treasure house of human experiences. It also explains about the development of the man and his life and his customs and traditions, culture and civilization, etc. Okay, all these things we can know through the history. And history is called as the laboratory of all social sciences. Here, every subject has a name. Example, political science is there. It is called as the master of all social sciences. Aristotle said that political science is regarded as a master of all social sciences. In the same way, history is called as a laboratory of all social sciences. Laboratory of all social sciences. Let us discuss the relationship between political science and history. So how can we understand through all these aspects? Now, first of all, the history provides the valuable information to the political science. History provides valuable information to the political science. So history provides what type of information to the political science? About birth and development of various political institutions like state. So here all these things are related to political science. This information is given by history to the political science. It is the first one. Second, J.R. Seeley, a famous political philosopher, explained the relationship between political science and history in a statement. So what is the statement of J.R. Seeley? So J.R. Seeley said that history without political science has no fruit. In the same way, political science without history has no root. It is a statement of J.R. Seeley. By this statement, he explained the relationship between politicals and history. So what is the statement? History without political science has no fruit. Means without political science there is no development of the history. In the same way, without history there is no root to the political science. It is a statement of J.R. Seeley. Then history is the foundation of political science. How can we understand this statement? Okay, what is the statement? History is the foundation of political science. Foundation of political science. With the help of history, we can establish an ideal and stable political institutions in the future. Now here the contemporary study of what the contemporary study of political activity in the present and past political institutions. Okay, with a comparative study of what past political institutions and present political activity, we can find what type of state? An ideal and stable political institution in future. So it is the help of history to us. So in simple words, history helps us to not to repeat the mistakes which were done in the past in the future. Okay, we cannot repeat the past mistakes in the future. Example, if we did mistakes in the past in the creation of a state, we will not repeat them in the future in the creation of other political institutions in future. So it is about third one. Next, fourth one, the knowledge of political science is essential to history. The knowledge of political science is essential to history. The knowledge of political science is very essential to understand the various historical aspects like Indian national movement, Russian Revolution, French Revolution, etc. Okay, to understand these and historical aspects, we must have the knowledge of political science. In the same way, the knowledge of history is essential to political science. Okay, how can we say? In the past, so many political philosophers proposed different types of political theories and concepts. They proposed different types of political theories and concepts based on history. Example, Plato is there, Aristotle, John Locke, Rousseau, Montesquieu, etc. Proposed different types of political theories and concepts based on European history. Then one more writer, namely Rabban. He said that the student of political science must study the history of his own country to understand the constitution and foreign policy of his country. His country. What? According to him, the student of political science must study the history of his own country. For which purpose? To understand the constitution and foreign policy of his own country. Yes, here before going to study about Indian Constitution, we must study about the historical background of Indian Constitution. And last one more writer, namely Freeman. He said that past politics is the present history, present politics is the future history. Yes. Past politics is the present history. And present politics is the future history. Yes, because we are studying the present history of past politics. Yes, past politics is we are studying as a present history. In the same way, present politics will be studied in the future history. So it is about the relationship between the political science and history. Now I am going to start the relationship between political science and economics. So what is economics? Economics is the science of wealth. It means it deals with what? Wealth. It also explains about various economic matters like production, distribution, consumption, exchange. Okay? It deals with economic matters like production, distribution, consumption, exchange of goods and services. It also deals with price, market, demand, supply, etc. Clear? Like history, it is called as a queen of all social sciences. Political science is regarded as a master of all social sciences. History is regarded as a laboratory of all social sciences. Economics is called as a queen of all social sciences. Right. Now, what is the relationship between political science and economics? Now, both the subjects aim is same, that is welfare of the people. Not only political science and economics, but also all social sciences aim is same, that is well-being of the people, welfare of the people. Even though these two subjects are different in their matters, but these two subjects main aim is same, that is the welfare of the people. Then the lack of basic needs leads to dissatisfaction among the individuals. Example, if the citizen is or the individual is suffering from basic needs. So what are the basic needs? Food, shelter, clothes, education and medical aid. So if the individual is suffering from basic needs, he cannot enjoy his rights and duties. He cannot enjoy his rights and duties. If the citizens will not enjoy the basic needs, his life will become sorrowful. His life will become sorrowful. Then the individual cannot enjoy his rights and perform his duties properly. And the individual cannot understand the value of right to vote. The value of right to vote. It is the second one. Then the communists said that the democracy cannot be success so without socialist economy. Socialist economy. So the democracy cannot be successful. Democracy cannot be successful without socialist economy. Socialist economy. So in this matter, one of the famous communists, namely Karl Marx, said that economic inequalities are the main reason for origin of social revolutions. As who said that? Karl Marx said that. Here economic inequalities are the main reason for origin of what? Social revolutions in the society. Yes, economic inequalities were the main reason for origin of Russian Revolution. Russian Revolution was originated against the economic inequalities in the Russia. Economic inequalities in the Russia. Then at present, state or government is performing certain economic activities. Certain economic activities or functions by take parting in the sphere of production. In the sphere of production, the state or the government has to take part in so many matters, like in the matters of taxation, next production of food, distribution, imports and exports, reducing the price rate of essential commodities, providing employment. So these are economic matters. These are related to economics. Now here the state is performing like this economic matters. In the same way, the economic factors are main reason for origin of various political theories in the political science. So what are economic factors? Economic factors are main reason for origin of various political theories. Example, socialism theory was originated against the economic inequalities existed in the capitalist society. It is one of the important drawback of the capitalist economy is what? Economic inequality is the main drawback of the capitalist economy. So as against economic inequality, socialism was originated. So economic factors are the main reason for origin of various political theories. And one more thing, economic conditions will influence the decisions of a government. Here economic conditions will influence the decisions of a government. Example, before 1947 the Britishers delayed in taking the decision to declare the independence to the India due to the economic factors. It is about the relationship between political science and economics. Then the relationship between political science and sociology. So already we know about political science. So what is sociology? Sociology is also one of the important social sciences. It is also one of the most important social science subject. So it deals with society. It is the root of all social sciences. Means all the social sciences are born from sociology. Hence it is regarded as the mother of all social sciences. What? The mother of all social sciences. Then it deals with the changes in the different social institutions in the society. It discusses the what changes in the different social institutions in the society. It explains about the various aspects of the individuals in the society. What are the aspects? It deals with social, economic, cultural, ethical aspects of the individuals in the society. Now let us discuss about what is the relationship between political science and sociology. So it is the introduction about the sociology. Now we are going to discuss about relationship between political science and sociology. So first one is, the knowledge of the sociology is essential to the political scientist. How can we understand this point? Every political scientist needs certain survey methods in their research. So here the political scientists will borrow such a type of survey methods in their research from the sociology. Okay, in other words, sociology will provide the information to the political science. So it will provide what type of information to the political science? About birth and development of the political institutions like state. So here sociology will provide the information about birth and the development of the political institutions like state to the political science. It is the first one. Second, the Greek political philosophers did not differentiate the state from society and society from state. According to them, both are same and identical, both are one. They did not differentiate the state from society and society from state. According to them, both are same and one. Aristotle, Plato, like these political philosophers said that state is not only a political institution but also a social institution. State is not only a political institution but also a social institution. It is the opinion of Greeks. Then, the political changes cannot be understood without the knowledge of the social conditions and institutions in the society. Yes, now we cannot understand the political changes in the society, so without knowledge of the social conditions and institutions in the society. So here political changes is related to political science, whereas social conditions and social institutions are related to sociology. So it is the relation between political science and sociology. Then sociological factors will influence the political life of the individuals in the society. Sociological factors will influence the political life of the individuals. Here I am going to explain this point through one example. In our India, different political parties are there. Some political parties are formed on the basis of certain social factors. What are the social factors? Here it may be caste, it may be religion, okay, it may be language. So these are the social factors. Okay, based on these social factors, some political parties are emerged in India. It is one example. And one more is, in our India, some laws are formulated on the basis of religion. Example, Hindu law is there, and Muslim law. So both laws are enacted based on religion. Here religion is the social factor, whereas Hindu law and Muslim law are related to political science. So it is a relation between political science and sociology. And finally, sociology gave the birth to a new subject is called political sociology. Some sociologists like David Easton, Max Weber and others developed a new subject from sociology with the name of political sociology. Who developed? David Easton, Max Weber. David Easton, Max Weber, and others developed a new branch of sociology with the name of political sociology. So it explains what? It explains the influence of social factors on political development. It explains what? The influence of the social factors on political development. Okay, dear students, so with this topic, the first unit is completed. That is the introduction of political science. In this unit, we discussed 1. The scope of political science. Number 2, significance of political science. 3, the relationship of political science with other social sciences like history, economics and sociology. Okay, I will see in the next session. Goodbye.